Welcome to the Positive Touch, the official Matchroom video on how to play the game of snooker. The 8 Matchroom professionals will be showing you different aspects of the game, from advanced positional play right down to amateur level of basic technique. The idea of the video is to improve your game and help you get more fun and enjoyment from it through playing better. And what better place to start than by choosing your own cue? This is my cue. What can I say about it? It's made of wood, one end's thick, the other end's thin. That basically is all a cue is. Other than that, you have lots of different variations of cues. You have different makes of wood, different types of wood, different size butt, different size tips, the one-piece, the two-piece, the two-piece further down the cue. You have different balances and different weights. These really are individual preferences, and it's down to you as an individual yourself to go into a shop and keep on picking up different cues, see what suits your hand, and also what you think feels nice in your hand. That really is what it's all about. The reason why you pick your own cue and stay with it and look after it is because you get to know your cue. It becomes part of you, and every time you pick it up, even blindfolded, you can actually say, that's my cue out, and pick them out of 3 or 4 cues on a table. So a very important thing, not only to get your own cue, look after it. Don't lean it up against the wall, put it in a case every time you stop playing with it, and generally just look after the wood. You don't want to ruin it. My cue is now about 40 years old, and if you look after it, one cue can last you a lifetime. Of course, the most important part probably of a cue is the tip, and this is the part that hits the ball. Tips are made of leather. There are different makes of tips. Once again, individual preference. But the most important thing is it's stuck on very well. Prepare both surfaces of the cue, make the cue flat at the top and the tip flat, and make sure you do a good job of sticking the tip on. But after you've done that, you must then perhaps file the tip down in a downward fashion to stop the tip from coming away from the glue, and file the tip down in that way to get the shape of perhaps the ball even, so that when the ball touches, or the tip touches the ball, you've actually got contact and there's a lot of area of the tip touching the ball. Chalking the tip, another thing. Don't grind the chalk into the tip like that. 2 things happen there. You can wear the chalk out quicker, you also wear the tip out quicker. And just brush the chalk across the top. If you see the top professionals, they just go brushing across the top. And the game, even though cues haven't advanced too much, they're still made of wood, the game is now advancing in other ways. We now have lep chalk, which has got anti-static ingredient in that stops the chalk from actually sticking on the balls and interfering with the ball contact between each other. So there are advances in the game. But the most important thing of all is look after your cue, and I think it will look after you. We now come to the first section of the video, which is basic techniques. Those things you do before you actually hit the white ball, like how to stand, how to hold the cue, how to make a bridge. These are effectively the most important points of being a snooker player, whether professional or amateur. If you're an amateur player, you won't get the benefit out of playing possibly 2 times a week if your basic technique is very weak. What Terry Griffiths does in this next section is to show you the best possible way of standing and holding the cue, so that it gives you the most chance to make the most of your own natural ability.
Before you start to play the game of snooker, it would obviously be a help if you can understand some of the basic things that help you to become a better player in later years, and of course help you to enjoy the game more. First of all, of course, we've got to pick the cue up and form a grip. And that's quite simple, really. There's a number of different grips that you can play with the game, holding the cue for the game of snooker. But really, when you're starting to play the game, it's easy just to pick the cue up off the table, like that, and that is your grip already formed. Well, after picking the cue up, as you can see, the line of my knuckles there is parallel across there. The grip isn't too tight, and it isn't too slack, really. It's when you start to bring the cue forward and backwards to hit the ball, the line of the grip changes, which we'll come on to a bit later on. But it's not too complicated a thing, the grip of the cue, and it isn't something that really you must spend too much thought on, as long as it's not too firm and it's not too slack. Well, the next thing, of course, is the positioning of the feet, the legs, the body. The feet, the right foot is normally more or less in line with the shot that you're playing. There's a fair spread between the two legs there, as you can see, but most professional players stand in different ways, but all for the same reasons, and that is to get the left foot forward, bent here at the knee, which in turn takes you down into the shot and puts the weight forward into the stroke rather than back away from the shot. So if the feet are spread possibly 12 inches apart, the right foot is back, the right leg is very rigid, and the left leg, of course, is bent there at the knee, which takes you into the shot. And once you've formed that stance there, you've already got the grip. Of course, the next thing is the positioning of the body in relation to the shot. So you go down, and there's a slight twist then of the body, which takes you down, puts your chin onto the cue, and as you can see, I've formed the bridge hand here, and now you're ready to hit the ball. So those are the main basic things for the stance to play the game of snooker. Forming the bridge, of course, is something that is very important, together with the 2 feet, because those 3 things form what we call the tripod in snooker, and that's making you stand very solidly, no movement sideways, forward or back. You must stay still at all times in snooker. The only thing that moves, of course, is the cue coming back and forward. So the bridge hand, to form the bridge hand, is quite simple, really. Put your hand onto the table, flat, spread the fingers, then slowly bringing the fingers back up and keeping the tips of the fingers pressure onto the cloth, and also at the back of the hand here, that must be touching the cloth at all times. So fingers spread, bit of pressure on the front. So there you've got now some height so that you can put your cue in. Of course, the only thing missing at the moment is what we call the V, and that's the thumb coming over to form the bridge there so that your cue can, of course, go into that position, and that also forms the line of sight, similar to when you're sighting with a rifle. That V, you can think of it possibly as a sight-in when you're firing a rifle. So that's the bridge hand, quite easy to form. Keep the fingers as spread as possible. Of course, the same as the feet. The idea is to be very solid with your hand on the table, and of course your 2 feet on the floor, so when you go to deliver the cue, at least your body's not going to move all over the place, and hopefully then you'll hit the white ball very accurately. Right, now that we've formed the basic stance, we can now talk about trying to hit the white ball. Of course, this takes what we call a cue action. So once you're into the basic stance, this time we're trying to hit the white ball up and down the spots, as we call it, starting on the brown spot and taking the white over the blue, pink and black spot, and hopefully back up the table in a straight line. It's a very good exercise. So here we go again with the stance, the feet, the bridge is formed, the tip into the middle of the white ball. Now then, you've got to take the cue back now and forward into the white ball in a straight line, which is the most difficult thing to do, of course, in snooker. So as you can see, as my hand goes back, the cue comes back away from the ball to give me enough power to hit the ball. You can see that now my grip, the angle of the knuckles on the grip is changing. That is because if you keep your hand tight on the cue all the way through, the backhand will lift up in the air, and you must at all times in snooker try and keep the cue as parallel as possible to the bed of the table. So that gives you a straight, smooth hit through the ball. So as you come back, your hand opens slightly, the grip there opens slightly, then as you come forward into the white ball, of course, the hand then closes as it hits the ball. So we'll just try that shot. Very slowly, back, forward, into the white, and hopefully the white will come back towards us. Well, if you can break that cue action down into different sections, first of all, we'd start off, of course, with the sight-in, then we go on to the feather-in, then we go on, of course, to the pause at the back of the cue action, hitting the ball and the follow-through. So we'll demonstrate those now. So once you go down, you've got your basic stance, your tip goes to the white ball, you've selected the line that you want, which of course is this time up and down the spots. So you've already done your sight-in. Of course, your stance as well helps you to sight up. You do that before you come to the table. So of course you see now I'm at what now we call the rest position, when the tip is at the white ball, and of course my hand at the back, my arm here should be more or less vertical here. So that's when I'm coming in to hit the ball. So once we're in that position, we've sighted up, we're in the rest position, now we're going to start what we call the feathers. and that's when the cue comes back and forth. It's like a practice in one way. So the cue comes back and forth. Of course, it comes back at different lengths depending on the strength of the stroke required. So this time, of course, I'm not going to hit the ball very hard. So really, it's what I call a medium backswing and feathers, when they're not very long, 4 or 5 inches. Of course, at this time, as I come back, you'll see the change of the angle at the arm here is coming back behind vertical. And when I come forward into the ball, of course, it should then come back to vertical. So we talked about there the sighting, the rest position on the feathers. The next thing, of course, is to strike the ball. So here we go with the feathers. We come back, and on the last feather, we got then a very slight pause. And as you can see again, the position of the arm at the back. So at the pause, when you're ready, a nice, even, smooth stroke through the middle of the white ball. The white ball goes up and down the table, and of course then you're left with what we call the follow-through, which in my case is about 4 or 5 inches. Right, once we've got that basic stance and technique together, the next thing really is to put another ball on the table, one which we call the object ball. I'm going to try and demonstrate here what happens with the eyes, which are a crucial part of the cue action and the timing of the cue action. When you go down to the shot, of course, your eyes straight away go onto the cue ball to make sure the tip is in the middle, center striking of the ball, and then as your cue comes back and forward and starts to form the feather in, so your eyes start to flick back and forth between the white and the object ball. Now, the one thing that you must do when you go to hit the white ball is to get your eyes up onto the point of contact onto the object ball, which in this case, of course, is in a straight line. So I'm looking straight on at a point in the middle of the red ball. So as your cue comes back and forth, so your eyes should be flicking up and down between the white and the red ball. Like most players, when they come back and form the pause position, at that time their eyes will already be up onto the object ball. Most players' faults in this is that they tend to leave their eyes drift off, and once they've hit the white ball, their eyes will straight away move across to the pocket to see if the object ball is going into the pocket. And that in itself stops a good stroke, a good timing of the stroke, and normally causes head movement as well. So I'll just demonstrate the way my eyes work when I'm playing the shot. So here we go with the feathers, back and forth. As you can see, my eyes are going up and down to the two balls. I'm ready to hit now, come back, I stop, my eyes up on the object ball, and they stay there. They never move off the spot. Now this shot is called the rapid fire shot, and what we're going to try and do is to jump the 6 coloured balls into the basket as quickly as possible. Now this time we're going to try and jump the white ball over the red and the coloured balls and into the basket. Right, this is a very simple exercise which most professional players use to check if they're sighting correctly, and of course to see if the cue action is coming back and forward in a straight line. What we're going to try and do is hit the white ball over the blue, pink and black spots and bring it back down towards the cue. So down into the stance, so you sight over the spots, bring the cue back and forth, and if you hit the white ball in the centre, it should come back up and hit the cue back up towards the balk line here. Well, that time, of course, I must have hit the white ball more or less in the centre because it came back down towards the cue. Now, if you sight correctly, that means you've aimed correctly over the spots, and the cue comes through offline, so your cue action then is offline. This is what happens. When your cue comes back and forth, your tip comes into the side of the white ball, so as it hits the top cushion, as you can see, it comes off at the wrong angle. So that's a very good exercise to try and check on your sighting and your cue action. Right, another very useful exercise to help you to see if you're cueing in a straight line is using the balk line. And this time, we're using the brown spot as an imaginary cue ball. So with this exercise, rather than hitting the ball, you put the tip on the brown spot, And this in itself, with the balk line being here, of course, helps to see if your cue is on line along the balk line. So when you're down there, you can check if your cue is in a straight line in the rest position. And then when you go through, of course, the cue action, back and forth, you can check if your feathers coming back are staying on the line. And when you're ready to hit, you pause, hit, and through the ball. And there again, you can check if your cue is still on the balk line. So there is a very good, simple way to check if your cue action comes back and forward in a straight line. Obviously, if it starts to deviate off the line in either way, that means you're going to hit the side of the white ball instead of going through it in a straight line. And as you can see from the last exercise, you can see that it's fatal not to hit the middle of the white ball. Everything in snooker is really based around catching the center line of the white ball. Whether it's the top spin, back spin, or the center of the ball, it must be in the center line at all times. And that's why the basic cue action in a straight line becomes so important. Right, we've covered most of the basic techniques to play the game of snooker. Now I think we'll just go back through them and recheck on the more important aspects of the basic technique. First of all, we start, of course, with the grip. And if you can remember, it is a very important part because it's only with the V in the bridge hand, the only part of your body that is touching the cue. So it is a very important part. So pick the cue up off the table, not too tight and not too slack, just a firm grip. Then, of course, we spoke about the position of the feet and the legs. The right leg, of course, is straight and rigid, and the bending of the left knee enabling to take you into the shot and get all your weight forward onto your bridge hand, which again we spoke about. Spread the bridge hand, spread the fingers there flat on the table. Just bring them up slightly, keeping the pressure on the tips of the fingers and the back of the hand there. Then you bring over the thumb to form the V, and the cue goes in there to form a nice, smooth V position there, so the cue can stay steady back and through the stroke. Then, of course, we spoke about hitting the ball and sight in. I think one thing I forgot to mention was you must at all times keep your head and all your body, apart from the arm that is moving the cue back and forth, perfectly still. The head mustn't jump up when you come to hit the ball. But then, of course, we come into the most important aspect of all, and that's the delivery of the cue, which is called the cue action. And while we broke it down into separate parts, really the cue action is all as one. You can't really take those separate things like the feather in, the pause, the backswing, and the stop and the hit. All those things must really be as one, and you can't really break them down into individual things. The most important part about it is the cue must come back and forward in a straight line. And once you've sighted correctly, which you start off with, then if the cue comes back and forward, because of course you've formed a very good bridge hand, your stance is correct, so the cue should come back and forward straight, and that enables you to catch the middle of the white ball. So let's not forget the preliminaries, which we call the feathers, the pause at the back when you're ready to hit, and then a nice smooth delivery of the cue through the cue ball in a straight line, and then of course you've got a nice follow through, which gives you a lovely firm but very delicate stroke really. You never really hit the ball hard, but you never hit it very slow. It's got to be a solid hit at all times. The other thing we spoke about, Coach, which is very important, is the eyes. A lot of people ask where should the eyes be when the tip is actually hitting the cue ball. And we touched briefly on that, but I think the most important thing to say about that is the eyes must be on the point of contact on the object ball before the tip comes into contact with the white ball. It's very important that, and the eyes mustn't deviate off that line until the ball has actually gone into the pocket, or possibly if you're playing a safety shot, give your eyes plenty of time to stay on that point on the object ball. Right, now that we've covered all the techniques for playing snooker, you must remember at all times to practice these basic techniques as much as possible. Probably more than actually playing the game of snooker. It's more important to get these basics right. Otherwise, when you play an actual game, you're really not improving enough because your basics are wrong. So please spend as much time as possible on these. Obviously, when you've got to play by yourself, you can't do this while you're playing an opponent. But don't forget one thing, if you get the basics correct, then you will improve very quickly, and more importantly than all, it'll help you to what we're all trying to do, and that's enjoy your game of snooker as much as possible.
Thank you, Terry. We now come to potting, and potting a ball is what snooker's all about. If you don't pot the ball, you can't win, you don't score any points, you don't enjoy yourself. Neil Folge, one of the best potters in the game, is going to give you his ideas on how to pot a ball.
So Terry Griffiths has discussed the basic fundamentals of the game with technique and things like that. Now we come to the section of potting the balls, which is very difficult. Now, obviously, before we go into angle shots, we'll start off with a straight pot, which all you're concentrating on really is hitting the white ball in the middle and hitting the object ball full on. It sounds easy, but hitting the white ball in the middle can be difficult for anybody. So the way I would go about this would be, first of all, to make sure my left foot is in line with the shot. Now the right foot would just lie across, and I would now address the shot. Now the important thing, as I said, is to hit the white ball in the middle. There's a number of ways of detecting the middle of the white ball. Jimmy White uses an interesting method where he cues the white right at the bottom, of which of course there's a point where the white touches the cloth underneath, which is obviously the middle of the ball. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do it like that. I would just try and find the middle, and this is the most important thing about the shot. For the first few seconds, I would just be looking at the white ball. Once you've got the shot lined up, the blue would follow on. You know, it'd be quite easy to hit the middle of the blue. So what I would do then, I would make sure I brought the cue back very slowly and keep my head down and push the white ball, the cue through the white ball as if it wasn't there, and you should be okay. So we've practiced a simple straight pot into the middle pocket. This shot is a lot more difficult now. You might be thinking that a straight shot is a straight shot, and if you can get one, you can get them all. But the more distance in between leaves less margin for error. This would be a shot I'd practice quite a lot in the snooker club and on the practice table. It's not an easy shot. It's one that I would hope to get maybe 60 times out of 100. And what I would do is play 50 long balls into that pocket and put the white over this side and play the same into the other corner pocket. And if my percentage was under 60, then I would be disappointed. I'd have to work hard on my technique, I think. So again, it's the same theory. You know, you've just got to get down, line it up, probably cue it up nice and slowly in order to find the middle of the white ball. And as I say, keeping your head down and pushing the cue through. So we've looked at straight pots. Now, in snooker, most shots are angles. They're very tough to work out. It's for a beginner. There's you know, one or two ways of learning the angles. For a professional, maybe he would just get down and pot it without thinking. One of the more simple ways, maybe, of determining an angle would be to imagine you're just potting the object ball into the pocket directly. You're finding the line of it, and just as if you're hitting it in the middle, so that you find a point on the object ball, so that when you hit the white ball, you hit it at that point the best you can. And that's probably the simplest way. So obviously you wouldn't see a professional snooker player queuing up the object ball in that way to find an angle. There are other ways of finding angles. What you must always remember in snooker is that you must line up the ball and line it up in a dead straight line with the object ball in the pocket. There are three different angles in snooker which we'd all work upon. A three-quarter ball, a half ball and a quarter ball angle. And most angles in snooker would be some sort of variation on those. So we've lined up an approximate three-quarter ball angle here now. So I'll get down on the shot, and what I've got to concentrate on is to hit the white ball into position on the object ball where that imaginary white ball is now. So this is an approximate half ball shot, and I'm going to make the cue ball try and cover half of the object ball. This is a quarter ball angle, and what I can see here actually is the cue ball covering a quarter of the object ball. So this is a very good exercise to work out angles of potting the black ball. Obviously, the black ball plays a very important part of snooker. It's the most valuable ball, and I think you could work out 7 different angles here, and starting off with a full ball with a three-quarter, half ball and a quarter ball angle on either side of it. I'm now hitting the four ball shot, which we've already been through, and all I'm doing here is concentrating on hitting the middle of the white ball. This time I'm hoping to hit the black ball 3/4 of the way to the left-hand side of it, able to pot it. In order for me to get this pot, I'm going to have to hit the black half ball to the left-hand side. This time I'm hitting the black ball quarter ball to the left-hand side. Obviously, during the course of a game, the angles aren't going to be so clear-cut. The advice I can give to you is to remember the angles when they're half ball, quarter ball, etc. But mainly experience is going to tell you the other angles that vary from that. Just a little tip here would be, if you're potting a ball along the cushion, the main advice would be to hit half of the object ball, half of the cushion. But to help it, if you're hitting a ball into the left-hand side of a pocket, then you would use left-hand side to help the ball go along the cushion.
Kneel folds on potting a ball. That's your first problem. After that, your next problem is potting another one. And to do this, you have to learn to control the white ball. That means putting various spins on the ball, whether it be backspin, side spin, or top spin. Jimmy White introduces this section.
Neil's just shown you the basis of potting balls. I'm going to show you ball control using extreme spin. First of all, I'm going to show you top spin, which you address the white ball at the top of the cue ball and follow through. Therefore, you have top spin. I'm now going to show you the opposite using extreme backspin, where the cue ball will come straight back into the pocket. Backspin. Now I'm going to show you stun, which is not hitting the top or the bottom of the cue ball. It's hitting the middle of the cue ball, which just makes the ball stop dead. That's a stun shot. I'm now going to show you the spin shots in more detail. The first one is the top spin, which when you cue up, you raise your bridge of your hand so you can address your cue ball at the top to get top spin. The next one is backspin, where when you cue up, you have your bridge hand a lot flatter, so you can address the bottom of the cue ball to get backspin on the white. Backspin. The third shot in the sequence is the stun shot, where you just have your bridge as you feel comfortable, because really you're just hitting plain middle ball to get a stun shot. Stun shot. First of all, I'm going to show you a drag shot, which means using backspin and hitting the cue ball very slow, so you get the pace to get position on the black, which is you address the cue ball very low, and you see that the white ball flows up, and you get position on the black. The next shot is hitting the cue ball with quite a lot of pace, with addressing the cue ball, lots of backspin, to try and get the cue ball to screw back for position on the black. The third shot using spin is, I'm going to use top spin. It's called a banana shot, where you address the cue ball at the top of the white, and when the white ball pots to red, it's got top spin on, so when it hits the cushion, it reverses itself, and the white should stop for position on the black. That's all. I've shown you the two basics of spin, which is top and bottom. I'm now going to show you the hardest part of spin, which is side spin. First of all, I'm going to show you left spin, hitting the side cushion and travelling towards the bulk cushion. Now I'm going to show you right-hand spin on this particular shot, which makes when it hits the cue ball, it will check this way. Instead of becoming running side, it becomes check side. I'm going to show you a side in a bit more detail. When you play running side, you have to hit the cue ball on the left-hand side on this particular shot and following through to get running side. And the other one, which is check side on this particular shot, where again you're hitting this side of the cue ball in this position. When the white follows through, it checks back on the cushion. Now I'm going to show you side, where in effect you get position through playing side. I'm going to try and pop the blue into this pocket, the white hitting this cushion about here with lots of side, so the white cue ball comes off the cushion and I'm trying to get on this red for position into this pocket. Voila. Now I'm going to pop the blue with check side to get position on this red in the middle. It's so I should be hitting there. Hopefully the cue ball will come off square, so I get position on the red into the middle pocket. So I'm using left-hand side now. Like so. Now I'm going to show you a shot using screw and spin at the same time. So I'm going to pop the blue into this middle pocket, the white ball hitting this cushion with left hand spin on the ball. So it comes off this cushion to get position on this red into that pocket. That's screw with side shot. This shot now I'm going to use screw with check side. I've just played screw with running side. I'm going to try it with check side now. So when the cue ball hits the cushion with screw side, it's instead of like travelling in that direction, it's going to hit the cushion and come off square, which is right hand bottom. Screw with check side. I'm going to try a shot with top running side for position. And this time I'm going to use two cushions. I'm going to hit this cushion and hopefully get onto this red into that pocket. Perfect on the red. Often in a frame of snooker you find yourself in this situation when all the loose reds have been potted and you leave yourself at this position on the black on purposely so you can pot the black. The cue ball goes into the reds and hopefully smash them up and leave yourself position. I personally play this shot with stun, which is the middle of the cue ball as explained earlier, to try and get as much power on the shot as I can. That's the perfect split.
Thank you, Jimmy. Controlling the white ball leads you to building breaks, and that's what the next section is about, how to make a break at snooker. In top-class snooker, sometimes in a frame, you only get one chance, and if you mess that chance up, your opponent takes it with both hands. Willie Thorne, possibly the best break builder in the game, and also the man who's made more 147 maximum breaks than anybody, tells us how to build a break.
As has already been mentioned, winning frames is all about scoring points, and to score points you've got to be a very good break builder. All of the top professionals have their own way of making a break, but 2 or 3 shots after a frame has started, I find myself in a position like this. I would look at the table and confidently expect to win the frame from this position. I'll now try and talk myself through this break. Choice of reds here, play the middle red of the 3 reds we've got in line here. A little stun shot, which is hit the white just below centre, just to miss the kiss on the red, and finish onto the black ball. We've left a nice angle on the black ball now. We have a choice of either playing the stun shot off 1 cushion for the choice of the 2 reds, or to screw round off 2 cushions. From this position, I think I'm going to play the screw round off 2 cushions with a little bit of bottom left-hand side that's hitting the white ball just below centre on the left-hand side, making the white come off the top cushion, the side cushion, and hopefully finish on this red here into the same pocket as the black. a little bit harder than I would have liked, but still no problem. Once again, we have a choice. You can either play the same shot as the last one, the two-cushion screw shot, but from this position I think I'll just roll the red in. No side on the white ball, just a plain ball shot, the white on and off the cushion, hopefully once again finishing on the black. Finished a little lower on the black than I would have liked, so now we have a chance of going into the pack. Ideally, I want the white to come into the pack there. It's no good hitting onto the one ball because the white could stick on the front of the ball. So I want to try and get a gap in the pack to try and split them all open. So ideally, I'm going to try and pot the black, screw the white ball into the joint of the reds here, and hopefully they will all split up. And I should have a choice of either one of these two reds in this pocket, or if I do play a bad shot, I've got that red into that pocket. So it's a screw shot into the pack. And a little bit fortunate there, we got hold of the white a little bit too much. But we have finished on a red into the middle pocket. Going to play the screw shot here, which is hitting the white once again very, very low, screwing back to ideally finish on the pink or the black, but making sure, of course, all the time of potting the red. We have finished nicely on the black here. Because the red is in the way of playing the run-through for the two reds in this pocket, we're going to try and get rid of this red now by just stunning the black ball in, playing the white off the cushion and trying to finish close to the red. So it's no side once again, just a little stun shot, and finishing nicely on the red. This time I've finished a little bit too straight to run the white ball through, so because we have finished straight, we can screw back. And as Jimmy said in the last part of the video, we can play, this is a shot I'm going to play with side, because if I screw back plain ball, the white's going to come back into the black in this position, which is no good to me to finish on a quarter ball black. So I'm going to play the shot with bottom left-hand side, which will actually make the white, when it hits the cushion, come out at a different angle and try and make a better angle for the black. So it's a screw shot with bottom left-hand side to try and come out a little bit higher for the black, like so. Once again, a little bit too hard, but still got a choice of playing for a couple of reds here. I'm actually going to play for the one in the middle pocket, playing the black off one cushion this time, just with a little bit of side to make the angle a little bit wider, and coming up for the red. So head down, nice follow through. Just a little bit too much side there, but we've still finished on the red ball. With the pink being able to pot in this pocket, we once again have a choice, either running through for the pink into this top corner pocket, or running through for the blue into the middle pocket. I'll run through and play the pink. I don't want to finish straight on the pink, because no reds pot in that pocket, and these two reds here pot in this one. So I want to try and leave a three-quarter ball angle on the pink, so it's quite easy for me to stun down for the two reds. So I'm now thinking actually two shots in advance rather than one. So just roll the red ball in to leave myself onto the pink. That's just about right. Well, there we've got a nice angle on the pink ball here. Idea now, because, as I said, none of the reds pot in this pocket, we're going to try and stun the white ball down for the choice of two reds. And to help the white stun across the table, I'm going to play it with a little bit of bottom right-hand side. It'll help the white drift across. So it's a little stun shot again, quite firm with bottom right-hand side, and to finish nicely on the red. And of course the break has gone up to 40 points or more. I've played a lot of screw shots, a lot of stun shots with running side, left-hand side, right-hand side. And of course from a position like this, with a break of already 40 or more under my belt, I should continue on to finish the frame from this position.
Right, well, during a game, you often find yourself in this position here. And I'm going to show you a few different ways of potting the black. That's the first way, which is quite useful. But the idea is to get the white off the side cushion, to jump back over the reds across the table and pot the black. There we go.
Another important point about break building is when you get down to the last two reds and colours. From this position, it should be plain sailing, but it can become very, very important. If you're 30 points behind, you might be 8 frames all in the best of 17 game. So it's, nerves have to come into it. A lot of the top players, when you get to the last red, we'll always play for one of the baulk colours or the blue ball because it becomes a lot easier to get onto the yellow. So I'll try and clear the table from this position. Obviously, with the red being quite near the black, we're going to play for the black off the first red, just to stun the red ball in and finish on the black. We've got a nice angle on the black here to screw back off the cushion, play with a little bit of reverse side, which makes the white come up the table towards the red. And as I mentioned a little earlier, I want to try and get onto the red to play for the blue or a baulk colour. Because unless you're going for the top break prize, either a 146 or 147, in this position, you know, with only the two reds left, it's going to be a lot easier to clear the table by playing for the blue or a baulk colour. So pop the black, screw back off the cushion, just a little bit of side to take the white up to the table towards the red. And now we've got a perfect angle on the red. We can either stun the red ball in, leaving the white just below the blue ball, which makes it easier to get on the yellow, or we can stun down for the choice or yellow or brown. But from this position, I'm going to just stun the red ball in, making the white just go through about half an inch and finish perfectly on the blue to get down onto the yellow. There it is. We've finished low on the blue, which makes it a lot easier now to play the stun shot on the blue, to drift down the table. We don't want to finish using the rest, so we're going to make sure by stunning the blue in that the white is going to come a little bit wider than straight down the line, which makes it easy to reach and pop the yellow. So a little stun shot once again on the blue, and the white runs down the table, finishing not quite as high as I would have liked, but we can stretch with this shot to screw the yellow back in about 8 or 9 inches to finish perfect on the green. And now we have a series of little stun shots. Stun the green in to finish on the brown, just making the white come back a couple of inches. A nice 3/4 ball position on the brown. The same shot as the green shot, only I'm playing a little bit more firm. We're going to stun the brown in and try and get onto the blue. With the blue, pink and black on the spots now, it's obviously no good in finishing high on the blue because you've then got to come in and out of baulk. So you're going to try and pot the brown and make the white finish just below the middle pocket so it becomes easy to roll onto the pink. So 3/4 ball stun shot, up for the blue. That's just about perfect. We don't have to do anything at all with the white ball here. We can just roll the blue in. The white will trundle forward and finish on the pink. Doesn't really matter if you finish straight on the pink from this position because you can always roll through for the black. But just a little plain ball top and just roll in to finish on the pink. Different players have various ways of playing the shot like this on the pink ball. We can either screw the pink in off the side cushion and come out for the black. You can roll it in off one cushion and come up for the black. Or you can stun the pink in and go around 2 cushions to finish on the black. But I always prefer to play the stun shot off one cushion. So I'm forcing the white ball in, a little bit of bottom left-hand side, to come back out for the black. And there, we've finished perfect on the black, and hopefully no problem in winning the frame. Well, that was a 41-point break to win the frame, and of course during that you saw how important it is actually to clear the colours. So when you're at home practicing or in the club, just set the colours up off their spots and just play from behind the yellow and just practicing clearing the colours, because probably in 8 out of every 10 frames, the frames come down to the colours and it becomes very, very important.
Thank you, Willie, and what a fascinating insight that is into how a top professional player views and thinks through a break at snooker. Of course, in an ideal world, every time you go to the table, your bridge hand would be firmly on the table in a comfortable position. But of course, other balls get in the way, you may be on the cushion, you may not be able to reach. You may have to use the rest or change your bridge. And this is where Tony Mio takes us through how to look at the different ways of coping with queuing up on the white ball under different situations.
Ideally in snooker, you can always get your bridge hand on the flat of the table, but inevitably you run out of position. This is ball against the cushion. First of all, you put your hand on the flat of the cushion there. The cue in between your thumb and forefinger. A good exercise to test your cueing is to put the white ball on the bottom cushion and to cue the white ball into the top corner. Right, once you've got the hang of that angle, what you can do to make the shot more difficult and to test your cueing is to move the white ball along the cushion like this to narrow the angle. Once you've mastered that and you really start feeling confident, of course you can put it to a very narrow angle, which is very difficult, and try it from there. Although this situation doesn't come up very often in a match, this is the best way to practice your cue action, and you'll be ready for it when it arrives. Right. When you're in a situation like this, as you can see, your cueing's quite awkward. So what we do is we use the loop bridge, which is put your hand like that. That makes it easier. Right, this is another awkward position where the cue ball is near the corner of the pocket, and this is how I would get myself out of this situation. This is another awkward situation where you're cueing over the top of a ball, and it's very important that you use a firm bridge. You put your fingers like so, you raise the butt, keep steady, this is the rest. Not many players like to use the rest, but when you do use it, it's important that you use it properly. Some players use it like that, and some players use it like this. And this is how I would use it. First of all, you put the cue on the rest, change the grip like so, get your chin behind the cue, and grip the rest firmly. And then try and strike white in the centre. As you can see, this is an awkward situation where the white ball is hampered by a few reds, and this is where you would need the spider. This is the spider. You use it the same as the rest. Put the cue on the top, same type of bridging. You make yourself comfortable, and then you strike the centre of the white. Okay, this is the swan neck spider, which is the same principle as the spider. The only difference is that with the swan neck you get a higher attack on the ball, so it can help you to bridge higher. I've shown you a few difficult situations which may arise from time to time. So it's important that you practice them, so if they ever happen to you in a match, they won't cost you the game.
Thank you, Tony. Of course, sometimes in a game or in a break, there may not be an obvious pot on. It looks like your opponent has left you safe, or you've just got out of position during a break. That's where I think some of the American pool players could teach us a lesson in looking for possible plants, doubles, combination shots. And of course, Cliff Thorburn from Canada has a lot of experience not only at snooker, but also of playing pool. And who better to introduce this section?
So now that we've been through all the basic techniques of the game of snooker, and hopefully you've had a bit of practice doing it, we're going to go straight to match-type situations, and we're going to start off with the break shot, which is very important indeed. Ideally, what I would like to do is to strike the cue ball on the right-hand side, striking the second row of reds on the right-hand side, so that the cue ball strikes the top cushion, side cushion, comes down between the pink and the blue, side cushion, down to here, so that if the cue ball is here, your opponent can't see anything here or here, and the only balls that he can see is through this gap between the brown and the blue. That's not bad. That one. Notice that the cue ball is tight on the cushion, and that always helps. Sometimes during a game you're faced with a shot like this. This is called a shot to nothing, which means that if you miss the pot, the cue ball is still going to come around down here and hopefully go safe. If you pot the red ball, then hopefully you'll still finish on a buck color here, and then you have to pot one of these and then go back down to the reds and hopefully build up a big break. So this is called a shot to nothing. Hopefully you'll pot it. But as you see, the cue ball is coming back down the table. Now, if you would have missed that shot, then obviously you wouldn't have left too much. But now you're back on the green ball with a chance to go back down to the reds and hopefully compile a big break. This is called a plant, or else in North America it's called a combination. And as you can see, the two balls are touching, and they're headed right towards the corner pocket with the cue ball right in behind it. Now, if the cue ball was just slightly to the right, you would still have to play this first red as if you're cutting it straight into the corner pocket, but just cut it a bit right. And if the cue ball was over here, then you still cut the red slightly to the left, but obviously the first ball is still going to go in. So I'm dead behind the cue ball here. I just have to aim dead on, and that should happen. Once again, another plant. This one's not quite as obvious. In fact, the red ball is about 3 or 4 inches apart, and what I have to do here is make it myself, so to speak. So what you must do first of all is get down as if this first red was the cue ball, and you just come around, try and find the angle like this. And once you find the angle, you just go straight through that ball, and you find an angle on the cushion here, and you try and play this first red into this small piece of chalk, and think that this is the pocket and not that. And don't forget to play a position on the shot as well. And that should happen. So now we come to one of the truly strange type of situations that can actually happen in any ball game at all. Now, it's still a plant. The two balls are still touching. Now, remember that this shot is only possible when the balls are touching, or I'd say about maybe 1/4 of an inch apart. Now, as you can see, these two balls are lined up towards this piece of chalk here. Now, for those of you that have played a little bit before, when you play a plant, you normally think, in order to make this ball here, or the first ball, is to cut the first red on my side to the left-hand side to throw this one off to the right. But obviously, this doesn't apply when the two balls are touching. Now, I'll try and explain to you why. Now, what you have to do here is aim on the opposite side of the first red, and just try and hit about 1/4 of the ball, and you'll just see what happens here. It just absolutely just threw right away and went straight into the pocket. In order to make a plant, obviously, you've got to see that 2 or 3 balls are actually lined up towards a pocket. So if you can see that there's 2 or 3 balls lined up towards a pocket, well then, walk around and see if they are actually lined up towards the pocket. Now, on this particular shot here, this is a 6-ball plant, and I've thrown in a little kiss-off as well. So these 2 balls are going to strike these 2. This ball here is going to cannon onto this one, and then it's going to cannon off that onto these 2 balls and pot that red into the corner pocket. No position. Anything else? You want a little wizardry here? What do you want?
Right, well, this shot here is called the disappearing shot. The idea is to pop the 3 balls in the 2 corner pockets. The black and white should go in the right corner, and the red should go in the left. This time we're going to try and make use of the red balls and pop the black into the other corner pocket to spin the black around the reds. go.
The double is a very interesting shot. It's a shot that I would like to see personally played a lot more, but for some reason people tend to shy away from it, or in fact are scared of it. Now, all that I have to do is just strike the red with the cue ball. The red strikes the cushion, hits the cushion, comes across, and goes into the middle pocket. This is a shot that you should practice because it comes in handy quite a bit. And it should work out something like that with some practice. Right, well, now we're faced with a situation. Now, we'll say that there's two different situations here. First of all, on the first one, you're 28 points in front, and all you need, obviously, is the last red. So here, I want to play a slow double so that if I miss the red ball, then the cue ball is going to be coming down in behind the black, because obviously I don't need a color because my opponent will need snooker, so I double this one in. I missed it, but I've left the red ball safe. Now, if you were 33 points behind, then still faced with the same shot. This time, you've got to play position on a color, and it's going to have to be either the pink or the black. So I'll hit this one a little bit firmer. And I'm on the black, and if I would have gone a bit too far, I would still have the pink in the middle pocket. So if you can do that, you'll be in pretty good shape. Now we're going to get into the snookering side of it. If you're snookered, what's the best way to go about it? Obviously, if the object ball is within 7, 8 inches, 12 inches of the cushion, it's a lot easier to actually play it off the cushion if you can. And sometimes, you know, if you can't play it off the cushion, then obviously you've got to play a massé shot. But from this position here, I would say the shot is to play it off the cushion. Or else if the ball was just slightly out, say, from this position, which means that I can't actually go one cushion and strike the red. So I've only got one alternative left, and that's to play the swerve or the massé shot. So first of all, I have to raise the butt of my cue, striking down on the cue ball on the right-hand side of it. And the cue ball is going to throw out to the left around the brown and then come back in again to strike the red. And I think that was a pretty good hit. Once again, I'm snookered here. The red ball's over the corner pocket. I could play this 3 different ways. First of all, off the side cushion and pot the red, or else I could come off the bottom cushion, one cushion, and pot the red. But I'd like to show it in a way that's a bit more difficult, 5 or 6 cushions and pot the red. Thank you, thank you. Don't applaud, just throw lots of cash.
We now come to the section on match play and tactics. And if you're taking the game seriously, all the practice and technique and hard work should be leading up to a proper match. That's what we're all about. The idea of playing the right shot at the right time, knowing when to go for a ball, when to play safe. All these things have to be taken into account. And of course, one of the greatest tacticians in the game, one of the top players, Dennis Taylor. I've had many great games with him. Who will forget that great match in the World Championships when Dennis beat me 18-17. Dennis and I, we're going to play a game, and hopefully, with the aid of technology, we're going to talk through the match so you can hear our thoughts. Dennis.
Well, thank you, Steve. I'm certainly looking forward to this game. As you said, we have had many a good battle. We all can knock in 100 breaks and pot the balls, but you've got to be able to get yourself into the position to be able to pot the balls, and that's where the tactics and the safety side of the game comes in. So this is going to be very important, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. I must hit the end red here and try and get a good break. Oh, I've got the white where I wanted it.
Right, he's cut off the red into the corner pocket with the green, so I've got to see if there's any other balls to get bound safe. I've got no chance of a pot. Those two reds go. That red goes in the middle, so I can't really play the safety shot into that corner unless I get the white tight on the top cushion. I'm blocked off on the other side of the table. Can I go off a side cushion and hit into the side of the pack? No, the yellow's in the way there. Gonna have to play and try and get this white tight on the cushion, otherwise Dennis has got a pot on a red.
Well, he got a little bit of a kick there. That's a little bit of luck on my part. That good break off give me an opening. The red will go into the middle pocket here, I think, but no, I'll have it go into the corner pocket, will it? Oh, well, that would have been nice. Nicely on the black there, but not to worry. Haven't left anything.
Yeah, good shot by Dennis there. Shot to nothing. Even if he misses the pot, I can't see a shot. If he'd have played it into the middle, he may have left me one if he'd missed. Now, I can't really play a safety shot into the balk area because that red's now wobbled in the jaws and stayed there. So I've got to look at a shot to play safe. I might play this one into the side cushion and back again. No, but if I do that, possibly I'll leave Dennis a chance of the double on this red I might play. So I think I'll just play this and try and put it behind the black. Not too hard though, I might leave one in the middle. Oh.
Well, I thought I was going to really be in trouble there, but the white's carried on and I can have a go at a red into the middle pocket. Once again, it's a shot to nothing. If I potted, that'd be nicely on the black here. Oh, that looks good. I've got an angle on the black here. If I can just get the cannon onto that end red, it should leave me on the other one just above the white. I'll just leave myself an angle on the black here to maneuver the cue ball. Now there's that red next to the blue. I've got that as a saver. I'm just having a second thought here. If I could just play a cannon onto the red to the left of the pack, it would leave me on one back into the corner. Oh, didn't quite catch the red, but as I mentioned, the other one was a saver there, so I've got a slight angle. I'll have to force this, but I can get back to the black, I think. Well, I've got an angle again on the black. I'll play the white off the top cushion and try and get the cannon onto that red again. Oh, just missed it again. That was a bit unfortunate, really. All the reds are blocking each other. There's a possibility of a plant there, but it... So I'm going to have a go at that red that's up near the yellow. I'm not too sure where the white's going to go here. I'll probably cannon into that other red.
Well, I was a bit fortunate there. Dennis didn't get any cannons on the red up the top, so that was forgivable missing that red. I've got a chance with the pot in the middle here, but the only trouble is if I miss it, the white ball comes off the cushion and hits the yellow, and I don't really want to play a 50-50 shot. I think I'll play the safety shot and try and put Dennis in trouble. Keep the white to the cushion.
Well, as usual, Steve plays a very good tactical safety shot. I can hit the reds there, but I don't fancy going up to them. I think I'll come off the side cushion and try and just nestle onto that red that's on the top cushion. Oh, I like that. I think I might have judged that one nicely.
Yeah, good shot by Dennis there. He didn't want to play the red to the left of the pack that he could see, because unless he hit it perfectly, he would have given me a shot on the red on the left-hand cushion. So he played the shot that was the best percentage shot. The only thing I can do really now is to try and get the white ball as far away from the reds as possible. Leave it down, try and get it on the cushion.
I'll just have a look here, see if I'm going to knock anything towards the pocket. There's definitely no pot on. So it's a safety shot, but I don't really want to knock a red over towards that left corner pocket.
Oh, Dennis hit that a bit thick. Where's it going to finish up? Well, he's given me a 50-50 chance on the red into the corner. Well, I've got to make my mind up whether I decide to go for it or whether I play a safety shot. Every time we play these safety shots now, if anything on the left of the table, the white ball's left, there's the chance of this red. I think this might be my best opportunity for putting this red. I've got a fair chance of getting on the black if I stun the shot across. Just go for it with everything I've got here.
Well, I expected Steve to get that. He hasn't quite warmed up yet, but he has left a red here. There's a red pot in the middle, but what can I do with that? It's a bit tricky, that one. This one that the white's closest to, I can pot that, but I've got to just work out where the cue ball's going to go. I'm quite close, so I have to be careful not to push it. If I can play this with a lot of bottom, I might be able to come off the other reds and back for the black. Oh, I'll settle for that. And just make sure and pot this black, because the reds are nicely spread. I should be able to finish nicely on one. Well, there's a red in the corner, but I think I'll take this one in the middle, and if I can put a little bit of left-hand side, I can come around two cushions behind the black. Well, I've got a nice angle on the black here, so I'll just pot the black and play a cannon onto one of the reds there. Oh, well, I didn't expect to be striking over this one. It's a bit difficult. I don't fancy this one now. I've got the red. Oh, it's just off straight. I can come back for the black here. I might have to come off one of the other reds, screwing back. Yeah, that's worked out pretty good. And similar shot to the last, just to take the white back off the cushion now. Would you believe it? That was a little bit careless there. I should never have finished in that position. 48 points in front, so now I've got to be a bit careful. As you can see, no easy pot on. Not that easy to play a good safety shot. I might have a go at one of those reds there. There's one into the middle pocket. I can only hit the right side. I've got to be very careful here. I could let Steve back in. Oh, that's not going to go in.
Well, I'm surprised to get another chance there. From where the balls were, I thought Dennis would clear up. I was a bit fortunate that he landed up perfectly on top of the red. That made everything difficult. But I've still got a pot of ball. I'm not really on an easy one. This red by the pink goes into the corner or the middle. I haven't really had a good shot yet, so I've got a pot of ball. There's no other way about it. I've just got to force myself into the game somehow. Probably that red into the middle is probably my best bet. I've just got to know that if I miss it, I've lost the game probably. Well, I'm relieved to pot a ball there. That's nice. Now there's a good opportunity here. Blue into the middle. and clear the red from the middle pocket so the blue goes into both pockets. Now, I think the white ball, if I pot the red, will go past the red on the side cushion. I should be able to come back nicely for the black into the corner pocket here. Oh, I've hit this miles too hard. What am I doing? That's just a terrible shot. Would you believe it, though? I've got perfectly on the pink in the middle, which is total luck. I must try and pretend I played it. Dennis will get upset with that. Little screw shot there. Oh, I've done exactly what Dennis has done there. Left myself queuing over the top of the red. Now, red will go past the blue, so just a screw back. No, I'll just play the stun shot in. Just keep on the pink. That's the easiest shot. Well, I should be able to score a few points here. Stun shot through, stun run through here. Not hitting the ball slightly higher than a stun shot. Just off straight with the red, but I can still play a screw shot. And the idea here really is to keep the white moving as short a distance as possible. And there's less room for error now. Could have gone through a little bit more with the white ball there. But if I play the white ball off the top cushion past the pink, I'll have the red into the same pocket. Now, I'm still a few points behind, and I still need a couple of these reds that are on the side cushion, so possibly if I pot this red and screw back, I might be able to nudge this red off the side cushion. Yes. Oh, that's a bit unlucky there. I thought I would have been on the blue for certain. Still, the green shouldn't pose any difficulties. Got to stretch over a bit. Always a danger you play this carelessly. But of course I would never play a shot carelessly. I just have.
Oh, I can't believe he's missed the green. But he's just nudged that red there. I was out of my chair. I thought I was going to clinch the frame from here. I can't cut this red in, so I'll have to screw the white down towards the baulk area. Just trying to keep it as close to the cushion as possible.
Oh, well, I'm pleased about the fact that I didn't leave any reds. That was a miracle what happened there. Should have lost the game from the green. Dennis has left me, well, I can pot the red past the green there, but I don't really know where the white's going. I think I'll play this shot with a bit of side and send the white ball back down to where it is roughly. Got too much side on, missed the red completely.
Wow, two careless shots from Steve Davis in one frame. I can't believe this. Now then, if he had to come another foot there, I'd had an easy pot into the middle pocket and could have clinched the frame. But it's very awkward, this. I don't really want to take any risk now and make one mistake and lose the frame from here. I think I'll take the white ball, try to pot the red, but I'm not too bothered whether I get this.
Yeah, Dennis played the right shot, I think, there, especially in a one-frame game. You just don't necessarily get into a match so well, so taking those 50-50 shots, they become 60-40 possibly. He's leaving me a long way away from the balls again, which is the idea of all the safety play. If I play the red on the side cushion, I should be able to send the white ball off the top cushion and back up into the corner of pocket area, down in the right-hand top of the screen there.
That's the third shot. I can't believe this. Why doesn't he do this in the World Championships? Now I've got a long straight red here. Once again, if I pot this, I'll finish nicely on the pink. Keep your head still and knock this red in.
Well, I had a feeling Dennis might pot that, but, well, he's not really done too much damage there. I thought if he wobbled it in the jaws, I might be able to be on the ball, but, well, he's not left me a thing now. What can I do? How can I play safe? Should I try to double in the middle? No, because even if I miss it, if I miss the shot, he's got the red in the corner pocket, even if the red goes safe. So, I suppose leave the balls as far away as possible again. So if I can screw the white ball and keep it in the bulk area, send the red up the table, should be my best chance.
I thought maybe he might have had a go at that red, but no, he's played a very good safety shot, so I'm going to have to try and get him back. If I can play this with a lot of side, I can get back down the table here. Must hit it hard enough.
Hit that a bit thick. I was trying to play it thinner, send the white ball with more speed down the table. This has left me a chance. Got to pot this red. Should be on a colour wherever I end up here. Pleased with that. Hit that one well. Now to come over well enough, yes, I can pot the pink, even though there's an angle. I can still stay on the red that's to the left. Gonna have a problem in a minute though. I've got to, after this red, I've got to pot a colour and then get some reds out, and I think I've got an angle to perhaps screw into the reds and perhaps dislodge them, and I'll be very unlucky if I did hit the reds not to end up on the green or the black. So give this a big whack, shift the reds as much as possible. Oh, I got hold of it too well. I've ended up not hitting the reds at all. That's a bit of a disaster for me. Still, there's nothing in it really at the moment. I suppose I could try and get on this red along the top cushion, and even if I miss it, Dennis will still need the last red to clinch the frame, and that's not an easy one. So I've got the choice of playing safe here really, I suppose, or pot the green and try and get on the red. And if I don't get on the red, I can always play a safety shot myself, so it's not a bad situation to be in. Come on a bit more. No, I don't think I'm on it. That's a bit of a nuisance. So this isn't an easy safety shot from here. I can't get back down the table. Although the one thing I can do is to blast the two reds away from the top cushion, seeing as they're at an angle with each other. Keep the white ball on the top cushion. Pleased with that.
I thought he would think of that shot to put me in trouble, but he's a little bit unlucky really. He's got the white safe, but that red, now this is very awkward. I'm close to the cushion. I've got to really concentrate and push the cue through nice and smoothly here. Oh, I'm happy with that one. Now I finished nicely on a colour here. Just a little bit too far for the blue and not quite far enough for the pink. I can pot both balls, but it's that last red there. How am I going to get that back into play? If I can just miss the yellow with the white here and possibly pot the blue and knock the red over the top pocket. Oh, I forgot about the blue and I missed the red anyway.
Well, I don't believe that. I expected him to pot the blue, but I thought he'd get the red out for me. He's got to miss both. I'd have rather well, I don't know. Well, at least I'm still in the game. Mustn't make this red come away from the side cushion too much.
Right, well, I feel as if I'm in the driving seat here because the blue, I know the blue ball's reasonably safe. Now, I've got to hit this one right. If I hit it too thick, I'll knock it over the other corner pocket. If I can catch it thin enough, I should be able to send it across the table and back off the opposite side cushion. I want to get the white on the top cushion and the white back into the bulk area. Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's a very good shot from Dennis. I think I'll pat the table just to show it was a good shot. Saves talking to him. Now I've got to play this very thin so that the red ball doesn't come back off the top cushion. Oh, I'm really having a good game at the moment.
Oh, it just shows you that Steve's human as well. Hit that one too thick there. Oh, much too hard. Oh, pity I didn't fluke that.
Oh, what's going on here? Well, I suppose I've got to be pleased that he's missed the pot, but he's left me now with a. I don't know what I can do. Can I get past there? I mustn't leave the white ball on the right-hand side of the red, otherwise Dennis probably clears up and gets enough points. But I don't know if I can get past the blue and play a good enough shot that the referee, if I missed it, would say it wasn't a deliberate miss. This is a problem. I could go across the table twice, but it's so difficult, this shot, to know what's going to happen. This slower shot, the ball could roll off. No table's absolutely level. I've just got to trust a bit to luck. But I must get close enough to the red on the left-hand side that it's not a deliberate foul.
Has he hit the other side of the red? No, he's played that absolutely perfect. Oh, I thought I was going to be in with a chance to clinch the frame, and well, he couldn't have played that shot any better. I can't really come off the right side of the red. I'm thinking about, oh, maybe I could just get a snooker behind the black, but if I missed it, I would leave the red on. I've got to try and hit this thin enough, and I want to get that cue ball down behind the green if I can.
It's a good shot from Dennis. He did well to get the white ball down into that area. I thought I'd stopped him from getting away from the reds, but he's left me a long way away, and now it's a snooker. Got to go off a cushion unless I can... Well, if I swerve the ball, it's trusting to luck, but I think the ball's in a good situation for swerving them. And that's... Well, I'll try to play it full ball, but I've got out reasonably lucky. Oh, that's fantastic. What can I say about that?
And a jammy sod. Shouldn't really think like that about a good friend. Now, I've got to be careful here. I must just hit 2 cushions and send the red up the table. I'll go in the middle pocket.
Oh, dear. Well, he played it right. He played it the right way. He hit it hard enough to get past the middle. So, 17 points behind. I've just got to make sure I play a safety shot here. What can I do? Up and down the table with the white ball, or possibly send the red ball round off the 3 bottom cushions, back to the side and into the middle of the table. Oh, I didn't hit that very well. Oh, I think I've left this.
Well, I think he's made a mistake there. Oh, what an unexpected chance. Look at this red. I can cut this one in. Not too sure about the white because it's thinner there than it looks. Now, finished nicely on a colour and the game's yours. No, that's not where I wanted the cue ball to go.
Thank God for that.
Now I've got a choice. What am I going to do? The pink is not an easy pot. The black's not an easy pot. I'm 18 points in front. The black would put me 25 points in front. I would just need the yellow then. But I can't really have a go at this. But if I miss the pot, I'm handing the game to Steve on a plate. Because so I wasn't really committed there. I just played to pot the black and missed it.
Well, we've been 10 minutes on this yellow now, and there's no real sign of anything happening. He's put me... I'm just going to have to probably knock the yellow towards the blue here. Must make sure I hit the... Oh, dear.
Well, I can't believe that one. Oh, listen, what a chance. He's left me a free ball, everything here.
Free ball.
Now then, it's a free ball, but just no good potting the brown, no good potting the green. The blue's the one. We've got to get rid of the blue. I've got to pot this blue and try and disturb the yellow. Oh my God.
How do you do against that? Unlucky.
Desperately unlucky there. I thought I was relieved to see that. Dennis had to get that yellow into play, and, well, he played it so well, and to knock the black in was just so upsetting. Mind you, there's a chance now I can win the frame. I can't pot the yellow, but I can certainly make it difficult for Dennis. Put it behind the green, possibly the white.
Right, now, I've got to forget about that last shot. It was a little bit of bad luck, but that's what happens in this game, and got to use all my experience now and just keep concentrating.
A sensible shot by Dennis, playing the yellow to the side cushion. 15 points in front he is, and mind you, this is a very thin cut. I've got no idea where the white ball's going, but I think I've got to attack here. Yeah, good. Where's the white? Where's the white? Oh, that's lovely. That's the sort of thing you need. Pushing the blue towards the pocket. Now, got different ways of playing the green to the brown, but I think I'll play the stun shot and hit the ball positively. That's coming round nicely. Now, my problem is the pink. My only worry is the pink. How can I get on the pink? I think I'll try it off of... My only worry is the brown.
Well, I can't believe it. Did he get a little bit of a kick there? I don't know. Can't believe he's missed it, but I'm absolutely delighted. Mustn't touch that blue there, just... Oh, this is a great feeling now. I've beat the nugget. It's nice and easy when you know you've won the frame. Everything becomes more easy. I just have to roll this pink in and don't need the black, but... Well, I've had to work hard, so I might as well pop the black.
Oh, that was a practice game. What about the next?
But this time we've placed the white ball inside the basket, and what we're going to try and do is jump the red ball into the side of the neck of the basket. That in turn spins the basket around. The red ball comes in behind the white ball, kisses the white ball out, and the red ball stays in the basket. So it's red ball in and white ball out.
And this shot here is a favourite with everybody. It's probably the most difficult trick shot of them all, the machine gun shot. Just a few of the professionals that play this particular one. Got to shoot the white into the corner pocket. Before it gets there, we've got to send all the 7 reds into the same pocket.
Right then, so we've run through the most interesting things we think about the game, but the most important of all... Practice!